You may have seen the headlines or the news reports talking about the real estate market cooling or slowing down. And even I myself, in my last couple of blog posts and videos, have talked about a shift or a cooling in the real estate market. But how does today's real estate market actually compare to real estate markets of the past? Hi, this is Andrew with the Andrew Smith team at eXp Realty. And the one thing I've seen is that there's a lot of confusion about today's real estate market, and the headlines and the reports and the things that are out there only add to that confusion, especially in terms of a shifting or a cooling real estate market or a slowing market, depending on how you've heard it. But what exactly does that mean? And is it slowing or cooling compared to what? So in the video today, I just wanted to put a little bit of perspective to that and help kind of explain where we are and stack that up against where we've been in years past. And so the first question that you have to ask yourself is the market truly slowing? I mean, let's face it, we've been in white hot conditions for much of the past year, at least in 2021. And the reason for that is because it's like any product or service. Supply is very low, demand is very high. I went into this in detail last week in my October monthly market report, and I've put a link to that directly below this. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead and check that video out. But you'll know, just like anything, look at the cars, right? There's a chip shortage. So there's very few cars on dealers' lots, forcing car prices up, especially used car prices right now. You're hearing more in the news about supply chain problems and the delivery of goods. And you're seeing all of the cargo ships piled up off of our coast. And you're starting to see things not in as readily supply in the stores. Those shelves are running low a little bit. And so when we hear that about the real estate market, we have to keep things in a little bit of perspective. Now, quite often, the reports that we've been hearing and seeing talking about pending home sales are down, year over year home sales are down. It could honestly lead you to believe that the market's in trouble or that there's a impending doom facing us right here. And I'm not saying that the market isn't going to correct at some point. I'm not talking about that at all. What I am saying is when they're talking about the market cooling and being down, compared to what? Last year? Absolutely. I mean, in the second half of 2020, the market absolutely took off and sales reached record highs. But compared to prior years, no, not at all. So if you actually look at the existing home sales report, and the latest numbers that are out are for August of this year, so August 2021, we are running at a pace of approximately 5.9 million annual home sales in this country. So how does that compare? Well, that will be more annual home sales for any year going all the way back to 2012, except the trend that we saw in the second half of 2020. So are we down compared to 2020? Yes. Are we still well above where we were in 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, and so on? Yes, by quite a lot. So it's important to realize that you can't sell what isn't available. And one of the biggest problems in the housing market today is inventory. There's a lack of inventory. Go to buy a new home, right? And there's been wait lists, hundreds of people on wait lists for lots that are going to be released in 4 or 5 months' time. And that is what we've been seeing across the board. So just a little bit of perspective there on where we are compared to where we would historically be. The other thing to keep in mind is the pace of sales. As we all know, it's not only that the number of homes that are being sold, but homes today are still selling substantially faster than the historical norm, right? So right now, nationally, in August, the average days on market was 17 days. And the challenge with that number, I'll be honest with you, is that the records are having a hard time keeping up, or the stats. Let's say a house gets listed for sale the first week of the month. There's a good chance that that home has received multiple offers, it's gone under contract, the buyer's inspection period has ended, it's gone pending, all within the same month. That quite often gets lost in many of the numbers. So the homes are turning quickly. But when you take that 17 days on average for August that we've seen, that's still way below what we've been seeing going all the way back 3 or 4 years. I mean, you start getting into, 30, 35, 40, 45 days on market. That's typically what we've been seeing for the past few years. So the fact that our days on market is still way, way down, averaging 17 nationally, it's just insane how fast homes are moving. If you know of anyone or you yourself have been trying to buy a home, you know it's true. A home gets listed, it's many times gone and under contract before you even have an opportunity to go and see it. Another aspect is the bidding wars, right? In the white hot market conditions that we've been seeing, bidding wars have been the absolute norm. You've seen it everywhere. I've been involved in homes with 15, 20, 25 offers on them. Makes it very, very difficult if you're working with a buyer to try, or you are a buyer, to try and get an offer accepted. It's got nothing to do with what the seller's willing to accept. It's got everything to do with what the other buyer's willing to pay. That in and amongst itself is what has helped push home prices up, as we've seen. Even now, as of the end of August, nationally, there are still an average of 3.8 offers being received per home listing. That's a lot. It's not 20, but it's still a lot. I can tell you in the markets that we operate in and here in North Texas, we've definitely seen the number of offers come down. Some homes, if they're not absolutely perfect, they may sit. Days on market will extend out and they don't receive multiple offers. Other homes are receiving one or two, three, sometimes four, depending upon the property. But we're definitely not seeing as many instances of 10, 15, 20 offers per home that we were seeing just a few days ago. So our home sales, the total number of home sales down year over year, yes, there's less inventory for sale, but historically, we're still running at a pace above what we've seen for much of the last decade. The days on market is also down compared to what we've seen, but it's up slightly, from what we've seen, but still down from what we would see historically. And we're still seeing multiple offers and bidding wars. So is the market slowing down? Well, yeah, today's market is slowing down from the market that we saw in May, June, and the beginning of July of this year. But it's important to keep in mind that it is still moving incredibly quickly compared to the markets that we have seen in years past. So again, I really just wanted to provide a little bit of perspective on that, because with the headlines the way they've been, when you start here of a shifting market, a cooling market, I think that that can be misconstrued. And there's people out there that suddenly think within the next 90 days, we're going to see home prices drop 10 to 15%. And we're going to see all this inventory suddenly appear. And that's not the case. I mean, so far, all of the data that we have, everything looks as though the market is starting to turn to or return to more normal conditions. We're seeing those number of offers come down. The pace of appreciation is slowing. But again, it is still very much a seller's market on a strong real estate market overall. Now, I do have a market report that goes out every single week. It covers all of the major areas in the entire country. If that's something you'd be interested in, just shoot me an email at andrew@theandrewsmithteam.com, and I'd be happy to get you set up on that, to have that sent out so you can track the market specific to your location. In the meantime, any other questions, always feel free to reach out. You can call me at 888-447-9650.